love this sport.
All right, it's go time, man. Our man Rock Harrison, Friday Night Duels. I love this stuff. And Rock, again, you look like $1 million, and rightfully so, because this is the match. I think we've all kind of circled Hokies, Wolfpack, environment, All-Americans. This has got a little bit of everything tonight.
It does, and you dress for the occasion, and this is the occasion. It's like the Super Bowl in the ACC Wrestling Conference. Two top teams, top 10 teams, going for what they want, and that's an ACC Dual Meet Championship. And they're starting to come in. As soon as the doors open, they were just coming in. And now it's starting to get louder and louder. So we're going to have a good time tonight and hopefully have some really outstanding wrestling.
All right, with that said, hopefully the band is quiet for at least 6 or 7 minutes so we can have a real conversation. I know how that stuff works sometimes. So at stake tonight basically is not only bragging rights, but also the belt. This is what we've all talked about. These seem to be the two best all season long.
They are. Everyone knows that when you come to the ACC, the top two teams that you have to go through is NC State and Virginia Tech. And here's what's at stake tonight. If NC State wins tonight, they are the solo champion. No questions asked. They are undefeated right now. However, if Virginia Tech wins tonight, they will be at least co-champions, NC State and Virginia Tech. And lastly, there's this team that's in North Carolina, it's actually in Stanford right now, that if UNC wins and Virginia Tech wins, we have a three-way tie. That's just crazy, Packer. That shows you how deep the ACC is when it comes to wrestling. So I'm excited about it, but it's going to be tonight. Someone's going to be crowned a champion tonight. Is it going to be Virginia Tech, NC State, and maybe UNC? That's why we're going to watch tonight for that reason.
All right, you mentioned a top 10 matchup, which it is, 7 against 10, which means we've got great talent. So with that said, for folks that are dialed in tonight, give us a little sneak preview of who to pay attention to, because I know this is going to be a long list.
It could be on and on, but let's use what we call the bookends. Bookends are the lightweights and the heavyweights. Let's start with the lightweights. A guy named Vince Robinson from NC State, from the Chicago area. He is ranked number 3 in the entire country as a redshirt freshman. He brings the excitement. He brings the passion. And he has an absolutely strong IQ when it comes to wrestling. Now, you have Eddie Ventresca, a returning All-American. He's been through the gauntlet. He's had those gritty matches. He knows how to win when it's very tight. So you have Eddie Ventresca versus Vinny Robinson. This is the first All-American that Vinny Robinson has wrestled. We're going to find out, is he ready for the big time? The second match that I'm interested in is the big boys. Big boys, Isaac Trumbull, ranked number 4 in the country, versus Jimmy Mullen, who was a two-sport athlete here at Virginia Tech. When you look at Jimmy Mullen, he's a guy that moves so well on his feet. He creates different angles to shoot, and he has something called a foot sweep. When you lock somebody up and he just kind of kicks the foot, he does a foot sweep. He moves extremely well for a heavyweight. But then you have Isaac Trumbull, very much of a heavyweight that will pin, but he also has what's called heavy hips. When you shoot on him, you got to finish quickly. If you don't finish quickly, he will score on you and then put you in the back, and he does pin people. That match is going to be a dandy because it's two different styles. Isaac Trumbull, who is more of a plotter, and then you have Jimmy Mullen, who moves and creates angles. That's the match that I'm really looking forward to seeing.
Rock, what is this heavy hips? Listen, we've been interviewing you now for years. That's the first time you ever dropped a heavy hip on me before. What does that mean?
Heavy hips, when someone shoots in on your legs, what you want to do is called sprawl, meaning get your hips away. But when you get your hips away, you want to push your hips on the person. When you're pushing your hips, we call that heavy hips. Because when someone is pressing down on your shot, it's hard to get up. So when we say someone has heavy hips, it's when someone is sprawling and placing their hips down and making it very difficult for a person to finish their shot. Those are heavy hits, and that's what Isaac Trumbull has. Good question.
All right. By the way, when you say the heavyweights, like how big of boys are these guys? Are they two and what? I mean, how big of the? I mean, heavyweight is what tonight?
They're two times the size of me. That's what they are. They are heavy, but the weight class is 285 pounds. You cannot weigh more than that, and if you do, you're disqualified. So heavyweight, you can be anywhere underneath that, but really, most guys that I'm seeing that are really effective on a national level are around that 245 to maybe 265, where they're still nimble, but the most that you can weigh to be classified as a heavyweight is 285 pounds. Jimmy Mullen is more around 240, and then Isaac Trumbull's around there as well.
All right, it's going to be great. Again, these two teams are just loaded with great talent. All right, with all that said, you gave us what's at stake. You gave us a scenario that we could have 3 teams sitting there going, hey, we're the ACC co-champs. What do you think the headline is? Tomorrow morning, people get up and go, man, what in the world happened? The headline in ACC wrestling will be what tomorrow morning?
You're going to put me on the spot right here in Blacksburg?
I am.
The headline will be, drum roll please, the headline will be UNC goes out west, beats Stanford, and gets a part of the championship for the ACC dual meet in Rob Cole's second year. UNC is on the way up. That's the headline for Monday.
Wow. So what happens when we got 3? We can't break the tie. I mean, you gave me a crazy scenario last week. So 1, 2, 3, everybody shares it. That's the way it ends?
Well, no, there is no criteria when it comes to the dual meet season. So what they'll do, they'll go to the ACC tournament championship, and then they'll see who's the individual champion there. So if there is a tie, it's not going to be fun because they're your rivals. It's kind of like getting a 5-year-old to eat broccoli. They're not going to like it, but they got to do it. So that's what it's going to be like if there is a tie.
Well, you know what they say, eat too much broccoli, get those heavy hips, and it's right downhill from there. Listen, it's going to be great tonight, man. We always love touching base with you on the Friday, but tonight really should be special. NC State, Virginia Tech, and I know you got a front row seat. You're going to have a good time with it. Always appreciate the time, man.
Thank you very much, and appreciate all the time you give us on the air. We really love you guys. Thanks a lot.
You got it, Rock. Take care of yourself.
Fans have had this date circled for months as one of college wrestling's best rivalries has arrived in Blacksburg. It's a top 10 showdown with an ACC championship on the line. Number 7 NC State, 10th ranked Virginia Tech. So much history with these two teams. Last year, Kyle Rini showed us how much this duel means. Unbridled raw emotion following his win over Sam Latona. 2023, Andy Smith stunned the country, sending Cassell into a frenzy following his win over Isaac Trumbull. And then the Highleys erupted back at Reynolds Coliseum. Hayden a win over Mackay. Lewis Tripp followed with a victory over Hunter Bolin. And then, of course, how about the night that the names Sam Latona and our very own Rock Harrison will forever be intertwined with a takedown heard across the country. Whose story will it be this year? A lot on the line. The simple equation, an NC State win, that means the Wolfpack clinched the outright dual title. If Virginia Tech wins, couple that with a North Carolina loss, and the Hokies and Wolfpack will share it. If UNC wins, well, it's a 3-way tie atop the ACC. And a pleasant good evening, Sean Kinney alongside Rock Harrison. So great to have you with us, Rock. Arguably, this is the most underrated rivalry in all of college wrestling. Just take a look at tonight. A lot of people have it a pick 'em, 5-5 each way, but you think it comes down to 3 weights.
This match always has some upsets and some champions that come from it, but there's 3 weight classes that really jump out to me that can make a difference in the final outcome. Kyrie and Connor McGonigal, guys that are hammers on top. Derek Fields and Mac Church, guys on a bubble making a national tournament, could be a deciding match. And Dylan Fishback, TJ Stewart, a rematch of the ACC finals that went to overtime. These are the matches we gotta watch.
There's a reason they save these two teams for the final Friday night of the year. The hardware is in the house. It's all about the pursuit of ACC glory. The next chapter from Blacksburg next. 69th meeting all-time, NC State, Virginia Tech. We start at 141. Sam Latona ranked 10th in the country. Troy Holman for the second straight Friday night. Bumping up, getting the call for Pat Popolizio and the Wolfpack. And here comes the 10th-ranked Latona on what is sure to be an emotional night for the senior from Alabama, one of 13 seniors honored earlier tonight, the final time that he will take to the floor here inside Cassell Coliseum. We are off and running with an ACC championship on the line. Sam Latona, the redshirt senior, 21-6 this year on a roll. He's won 6 straight. Troy Holman gets the nod for North Carolina State, the redshirt sophomore out of Harrison City, Pennsylvania.
And already Sam Latona is taking territory. He has gotten Holman right on the edge of the match, and if he continues to keep this pressure, it's going to be a long night for Mr. Holman.
Latona has been one of the fan favorites throughout his time. He talked about how he lived here pretty much his senior year in high school. As you see the action go out of bounds and an early stall on Holman.
I said earlier that he took territory. You could see he came out club and just went straight at Holman. Now we got to remember, Holman was at 33 for most of the year. Came up last week, had a really good win against Miranda at Stanford. But it's a big difference when someone's been at 41 the whole year. And once again, Latona is staying towards the center and keeping Holman with his back towards the out of bounds.
Using that size advantage, Holman coming in on a shot, smothered effectively by Latona. First year for Sam Latona at 141 pounds, started his career at 25, transitioned to 33, and now in his final go-around at 141.
Sam Latona has a really good sweep single to usually his opponent's left leg. And sometimes he does a little fake one way and goes the other way. But really proficient on his shots. I love the fact that he's just, look, see how he's just continuing to stalk, keeping him on the edge. Just got to pepper some shots to really create some action.
Latona controlling the center, no score in this first period. You know, you look at the bout card tonight with these two teams. This is one of those weights where Virginia Tech thought they might have an opportunity to get some bonus points, and in a duel that is anticipated to be very tight, those opportunities to get bonus points. And now Latona with the first threat of the night. He's in deep, and he does not have the takedown yet. Holman.
That right arm is in between the legs of Holman, and Holman's in a better position, but good job by Latona to lift the leg. He wants to get his right leg between there too, to split the legs. So he's trying to get between. Now he needs to walk up towards his back, put him in neutral danger. He's got to keep coming forward, but he doesn't want to go to a side. He wants to kind of stay in the middle and walk straight back.
Holman trying to hang in there with 17 seconds to go in this period.
That arm is still in the middle. There's no takedown yet. Good job by Holman. There it is. He did a high C, took his time. When he stayed in the middle, once Holman started to roll, he came across the other side. 3-0 start. Let's look at it. He usually does a swing to the swing single, but this time he did a high C and finished it with 4 seconds left in the first period. 3-0. Good start because he ended the period on top. 3-0 Sam Latona.
Patience from the veteran Latona. Able to secure that takedown with about 7 seconds to go in that period. So we move into period number 2. Holman underneath, down 3-0.
A little underrated piece of Latona's game is his top work. He's able to ride effectively. Certainly now, with how things are with officials, they want to look not just for a ride, but they want to look to see if you're turning. And this is just experience. He's been doing this for a long, long time. Been in a lot of tight matches against top-level guys. You see how he's keeping his toe in? That's just experience. Try to get that little bit more riding time.
Pat Popolizio, the 2001 Oklahoma State graduate, 13th year in Raleigh, took over this program in April of 2012. He has led NC State to 7 ACC championships, including the 6th straight entering this year. And, you know, there were some new faces this season. They elected to redshirt a couple of ACC champs. Yet here they are, the only unbeaten team in the conference for the final Friday night of this ACC season.
And the only reason you can do that is if you have depth. When you can redshirt ACC champions and then still compete and be a top 10 team, that just shows that you know how to recruit not just not just recruit for the short term, but also for the long term.
Good job here by Latona. This crowd showing their appreciation. The tough ride for Sam Latona, who was always a big 25 and 33 pounder, and now you see him at 141, and still the long limbs, those long arms, long legs, and he makes life difficult underneath.
2 times that Holman has started to roll, and what Sam Latona has done has let him do a roll, and then once he finishes the roll, he reattacks him.
Latona sticks in that thigh pry, and now a whistle comes and a stall up top on Latona. So each wrestler has been tagged once for stalling.
We had just talked about that, the fact that officials starting to look. They said you can ride, but if you're not working or actively working the turn, then they call a stall. Now, the official has got to be consistent. He made it in his first match. Now he's got to be consistent throughout the whole match. That's what people want to see, be consistent.
Latona goes back to that claw. Holman tried to hit that switch, now follows with a roll. Latona, though, stays with him the entire way.
That's the 3rd time he did it. Sam is on to him.
Keeps that left foot inbounds. Latona approaching 2 minutes of riding time, and both wrestlers for just a brief moment outside that cylinder, so we go back into the center.
22 seconds left. Obviously, Sam Latona has made a commitment to keep Holman down.
Chops away that arm initially. Has Holman all bunched up underneath. Just no answer right now underneath for Troy Holman in this second period. Over 2 minutes of riding time for Latona. Short time as this second period winds down, and Sam Latona a 3-0 lead, 2 minutes, 8 seconds of riding time. As Tony Roby has to be happy with what he is watching from his senior. He arrived in Blacksburg as an assistant in 2006, year number 8, the 5-time ACC Coach of the Year, led Virginia Tech to the regular season dual titles in both 21 and 23. Will he keep that trend here in 25? The common denominator has been they defend the home turf. The last 2 times against NC State, they've been able to knock off the Wolfpack and win that regular season title.
Now, here's where strategy comes in. 1 minute and 54 seconds left for ride time, so it's essentially 5-0. A takedown and a ride out now makes it a bonus point win, which is an extra point for Virginia Tech. A decision is just 3 points. A bonus points when you win 8 points or more, that's 4 points. So let's see if Sam Latona, I believe he's just going to try and get this last takedown. Good shot there.
Long range shot by Holman. Latona counters with an underhook. Left arm underhook.
Wrestle here, guys, wrestle here.
Has the head buried underneath of Holman. And the referee will call a stalemate. Kevin Lenich and Sorcheski are officiating crew tonight here in Blacksburg. Great to have you with us on the ACC Network. Huge crowd here inside Cassell as we start this duel at 141.
Important series for both guys here. Holman does not want to give up bonus points. He does not want to give up the takedown. And Sam Latona, with under a minute, he's going to start a sprint just to get it. And you can see the coaches from Virginia Tech trying to encourage him. Come on, let's go, shoot, shoot, shoot.
Center!
Continuing to take territory, now trying to whip Holman over near the edge. Holman able to stay grounded on both those knees. Let's see if Latona on this edge is going to get that stall call, and he is. So Holman will give up the additional point. Latona in on that single, 25 seconds, and that hand touched the hardwood off the mat, so that's what stopped it.
It stopped it, but the official said he intentionally put his foot out there. Very good call there, because sometimes people know when your foot goes out, that's it. So look, Sam Latona's going to come at him hard. He's looking for that takedown. There's another shot. Look at the motion here. He's going to try and follow. Can he get it?
Out, out, out.
No stall there. That's legit motion. 14 seconds left. The fans here are going to get behind Sam. Sam is going to keep it going. There's the shot. Here it is. Can Sam finish it? This will be big for the dual meet. Sam has got to get that arm out, trying to finish it. Less than 5. Holman's got to hold on. Can he? Good job by Holman.
For the final time in his long storied career here in Blacksburg, Sam Latona has this crowd on their feet. Always wanted to be a Hokie growing up. The Alabama state champion found a home here in Blacksburg. He attended a Virginia Tech camp at a young age. His older brother wrestled for Virginia Tech, and what a career it has been for Sam Latona.
He has been a staple point in this Virginia Tech lineup for many, many years. He has sacrificed his body. Many of us remember at 25, the horrible cuts, 33, now 41, wrestling at a top level, trying to end his career as another All-American.
Firepower for Virginia Tech in the form of the defending national champion, Caleb Henson. Unbeaten this year, 15-0. He is registering wins at an 80% bonus clip. 15 wins, 3 falls, 5 of them tech falls, 4 major decisions. Had a battle last week with Finn Solomon. He needed overtime to pull out the 4-1 sudden victory win. Tonight he gets Coy Bizgins of NC State. Good-looking youngster. The redshirt freshman comes in 15-9, 3-2 in ACC duels, and Henson wasting no time trying to get to his offense early.
Get in on a single, and with singles you have to be patient. You don't want to rush. And one thing you learn about Caleb Henson, his in-match IQ is really high. He's able to make adjustments during the match based upon the wrestler that he's wrestling.
Keep that safe. Keep it safe.
So he's pushing him. You see, Caleb is pushing him. He's moving around. You see this? He's just moving him. That's the certain. And good limp leg by Biskins.
Biskins, first-year starter for the Wolfpack.
Get out those fingers.
Redshirted last year, mainly seeing time at 141 pounds. But because of some of the red shirts utilized by the Wolfpack coaching staff, an opportunity for the freshman out of the state of Minnesota.
Sean, we didn't ask Caleb Henson if he woke up this morning feeling dangerous.
I think he wakes up feeling dangerous every morning. What a great student athlete and ambassador for this sport. So fun to talk to, the intensity that he brings.
One thing that Popolizio and the NC State staff said about Biskins is that he's really stout on his defense. He holds position extremely well.
Center.
He said they just need him to open up a little more. He has the offense, he's just not opening up.
Duck under there by Bizgins. Henson over the top, and the referee's going to stop this real quickly for potentially dangerous.
He pulled that knee out. He pulled it out, and it was against the natural movement of the joint. And Coach Popolizio just points and go, 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 go.
Good.
It did come out.
Keep an eye on that. Bizgins comes driving in at Henson. You mentioned it, Rock. When you look at Coy Bizgins this year, he's had so many one takedown losses. He's been right there, coming in 15-9, and so many of those 3 points or less. First wrestler for Popolizio from the state of Minnesota.
So they're watching that now. Because of that situation, you see how Caleb Henson kind of put that knee out across the thigh? Now he's going to kind of walk his way up. Now the thing is, he doesn't want to pull that out too far, but he's got to walk his way up. You see how he's coming up and standing? And now he's going to try and slip through to get the takedown. There it is.
Green, you got 3.
2.5 minutes into the first period, the defending national champion gets the takedown.
A little head lever action. And he went to a head lever, and he's trying to get a little arm bar in there.
Stay active here, man. Stay active.
But cross rails tilt.
Has the wrist control. Now Bizgin's able to free that arm, and Henson is going to be content just to ride him out here for the final few moments. And Caleb Henson a 3-0 lead after one.
So here's the takedown that Henson
Green chooses
had.
bottom.
He was in on there, he kind of walked it up, and then once he's able to free that right arm, he was able to cover
Okay, guys,
that right
second period
ankle,
here, 3-0.
and that's a takedown. 3-0, ended the period
Green
on
is
top.
set. Red, cover.
Quick stand up by Henson.
Still red.
And
On
he is
green.
away. So a quick point there for Caleb
Neutral.
Henson, the junior from Cartersville, Georgia.
It's usually towards the end of the second period, Caleb Henson starts to figure out his opponents, and then he can score in bunches. Once he does kind of the feel to see how his opponent moves, then he starts to use his match IQ and increases his opportunities to score.
He has scored frequently. We talked about the 80% bonus clip this year for Henson, who missed some time with an injury. Won the Cliff Keen Championship, knocked off Ridge Lovett in the semifinal round, and what a year it was for Henson. The history of Virginia Tech wrestling. He was the ACC Wrestler of the Year, the program's second national champion, the fourth finalist in program history. What would he do for an encore here in 25?
He has lots of goals. He wants to win a national championship this year, figure out what weight he's going to go next year, Olympic aspirations.
Both guys stay
What I'm
offensive,
seeing-
both men.
He certainly can accomplish these goals.
What's
Fingers.
Bisgins doing so well to slow down some of this Henson offense right now?
As I mentioned before, he holds position extremely well, but we just got to see that offense. Like earlier in the first period, he had kind of a duck, almost like a fireman's, but good defense. But he had a duck, a fireman's. He's got to create opportunities. He's got to trust his offense, and that's what you want your wrestler to trust your offense. You drill this all your life, trust it.
Henson with a 4-0 lead through the first
NC
couple of
State,
periods.
Detroit.
Don't forget tomorrow's men's
Red,
basketball
choose the bottom.
triple-header right here on the ACC Network. Georgia Tech and BC start the day at 2 Eastern, followed by Chase Hunter and number
They got
18
third period
Clemson. They're in Dallas
Red,
taking
set.
on SMU, and Virginia Tech Miami caps off the busy day. Bisgin's choice, he starts underneath.
One of the things that you'll see, Caleb Henson, he doesn't want to go against the joint there. One of the things you see,
Action, man, action.
he'll lace the ankle and go to a head lever.
Green one.
Takes away that leg, brings Bisgins right back down. And again, Rock, you start thinking big picture with this duel. Again, the ACC title on the line. A lot of people thought Virginia Tech would get bonus points, possibly, if they were going to get bonus points at 41 and 49.
And these are the matches that you may say, well, of course he won, but it's the match within the match. Not giving up the extra points. Wrestling tough, explaining to your wrestlers that, hey, everything makes a difference. So even if you don't win, don't give up extra points. Now at this point, Biskin's got his head on the mat, just doesn't look good. He's got to move a little more. If not, he's going to get banged for stalling.
Green 2, green 3, green 4.
Sean, we talk about this. You do the Nationals.
Stop. Red, that's
Top
you.
man stalling. Top man stalling. We talk about being consistent. He called it earlier. He's calling it again. That's what you want. He said, I'm going to make sure if you're on top, you have to work for a near fall. That's all we ask. Be consistent.
Red
And right
set.
now, Kevin Lynch is being
Optional
consistent
start.
in his calls.
Red cover,
But what I was
green.
getting at, we've seen the Nationals.
One
It's
red.
the mat wrestling that really makes the difference.
Neutral.
But hey, riding time at 135, Biskins is still in this match.
4-1 Henson, 38 seconds to go here in this third period. Henson reaching for the far leg.
Riding time is secured, so it's essentially 5-1, so it's going to take more than a takedown to tie this. And so as an NC State fan, are you pleased with this? You said, this is a national champion, redshirt freshman. He presented himself. He didn't give up bonus point. Yeah, of course, Virginia Tech won this match, but NC State did enough just to give up a decision to the returning national champion, Caleb Henson.
Caleb Henson will stay perfect on the season as he heads into the ACC championships in a couple of weeks. A 16-0 mark,
All the way, all the way.
the reigning national champion, and a 5-1 win for the junior, putting Virginia Tech up 6-0 inside a packed Cassell Coliseum in Blacksburg.
The Wolfpack have returning All-American Ed Scott, who's gotten really proficient in his top work since he's come to Raleigh. Good on top, and of course, if you're from PA, you're going to hit a fireman, but Ed Scott's been known for this headlock. Once he gets a headlock and gets it tight, it's lights out. Will we see it tonight? We'll see. Ed Scott returning All-American and ACC champion for the Wolfpack.
Scott, like he has really throughout his career, really hitting his stride the closer you get to March. 11-4, he's won 4 straight. His opponent, Rafael Hippolito, who just came back from about a month-long absence, lost last week in his return to action in sudden victory to Dylan Evans of Pitt. But here comes Hippolito, who before the injury was really cruising and really making a name for himself.
Fans, buckle your seatbelts. This match, someone is going to get tossed.
Hippolito right in on an early attack. Scott able to shred it off. Two wrestlers who love to keep the foot on the gas. Virginia Tech has won the first couple of weights. Hokies to a 6-0 lead. Again, the ACC regular season championship on the line.
You already see that Ed Scott's going to clamp with that right head, bang the head, and try and get that underhook. That left arm is going to try to get in the armpit of Hippolito. And Hippolito's doing a good job of keeping his elbows in to prevent that underhook. One of the things we've seen with Hippolito is, as you said, he just came back last week, but he was scoring bunches, but at times he fades.
You look at this weight for Virginia Tech as Scott came in there. You had the human highlight reel and Bryson Donian, the multiple-time All-American, and when Hippolito was clicking early this year, he had some highlight reel type offensive maneuvers. He is a fun wrestler to watch, the redshirt freshman out of Brazil, and keep in mind he was a late introduction to the sport of wrestling, a 4-time world champion in jiu-jitsu.
Offense, guys, offense.
What he's doing well, he's just moving, changing levels, changing angles, while Ed Scott likes to move forward and clamp down. But Hippolito's doing a good job of just moving around. You see light on his feet, changing levels, and then he'll blast through with a double. Just watch that double.
Fingers, get out of the fingers.
Halfway through this opening period, no score.
These guys are respectful of each other. They know that each one can pop off and something bad can happen if you're not positioning yourself well. But I want to see some action. I want to see somebody get thrown on their neck.
Action, gentlemen, action.
Scott staying on the hunt, 45 seconds, first period. We saw Hippolito last year, ironically, for the first time. It was a redshirt year last year for Hippolito, but he got the call up in the North Carolina State Virginia Tech duel. Lost to Scott last year, 12-7. So you see both wrestlers get tagged with a stall call.
Double stall call. You don't see that much, but I'm not mad. These guys just holding the positions. We got to see some action. We got to see some committed shots.
No real threat either way through the first 3 minutes. Inadvertent poke in the eye there, absorbed by Scott. And that will be it. Scoreless after the first period.
NC State, your choice.
You look at this conference at 157. Hippolito headlining the pack. There is Scott right behind him. Dylan Evans. Keep an eye on this young man from Pitt. He is wrestling well. And then Santiago and the talented freshman who's banged up right now for Stanford.
157, you would think Ed Scott is the clear favorite because he's a returning All-American. But It's anybody's weight class. A little chin back action.
Trying to suck him back, and he does.
Holding 2.
We're neutral.
That was quick. Quick chin back, sucked him back, got some swipes. Up 2-1.
Get off the fingers.
Now let's see if this opens these guys up.
See Hippolito trying to work from space. Scott wanting to try to close down that space. Heavy collar tie there by Scott. 2 wrestlers forehead to forehead. And
Stop. Stalemate. We got to get out of the fingers, guys.
another stoppage.
Please
and
stay out of the fingers.
So here, he sucked him back, right there. Not there, but when he goes back down this time, that's when he gets 2 swipes and takes the lead 2-1. Hippolito is kind of dancing around, not really committing to a shot. He's keeping his distance. And I'm thinking that's kind of what he wants to do. He doesn't want to stay tied up with Ed Scott because Ed Scott has a stall call against Hippolito.
So Scott ties it up at 2 with the stall call, the second stall call on Hippolito.
All right. Now Hippolito is standing in the middle, going to an underhook. Once again, he's doing great with his motion. Watch him lower his level. Now, once he gets a reaction out of Scott, he's got to shoot. He has a really strong double, Hippolito.
How much time, Matt?
He's wrestling a cautious match.
Offense,
Safe to
guys.
say not what either one of us was expecting. Now we get some action here late in the period, but Hippolito able to bail out of it. Tied at 2, short time in this second period. Hippolito with a couple of stall calls. Remember, they had that double stall call, so Scott has one as well. And we are tied at 2 and without hesitation. Pat Papalizio looking over at his wrestler, and Hippolito going down underneath.
He's going down.
Green chooses bottom.
This is where experience comes in. Ed Scott's been wrestling for a while.
Okay, guys,
He's
we're tied
been in
here.
these
Green, you got 2
round of
stall
12
calls.
matches
Red, you got
before,
1.
how to keep someone down and be smart. But
Red, I'll call you
Hippolito,
on. Wait for me.
he's got to get out quickly, and then once he gets out, he's got to
Green
attack. As you mentioned,
Red,
Sean,
cover.
he has a couple stalls against him.
The 2-time ACC champion, Ed Scott. Now will try to work his magic on top.
Watch. Looking for that cross wrist tilt. You saw that.
Hippolito into a stand-up, brought right back down by Scott. Good contingency from Raleigh, who have made the journey here to Blacksburg, making some noise. Tripoding up is Hippolito, again back into the stand-up. Scott trying to get his grip, and he lost it. Hippolito is away.
Here it is.
Hey,
Hey, they want to talk about that. They thought it was a Kimura.
Corner.
They thought it was a
Riding
Kimura, that
time.
he took his arm
Riding
and went
time.
against the
Riding
natural
time.
motion to see if that's it. I think that's what it is. I can't tell. Well, the riding time, excuse me.
So they're going to get the riding time situated. Hippolito with the escape, a 3-2 lead. Both wrestlers an opportunity to head to their corners for a brief moment. You see Jared Frere in the backdrop. Words of encouragement to the 12th ranked wrestler in the country, Hippolito.
Oh, good shot there. Looking for neutral danger. Looking for neutral danger. But nothing yet for Hippolito. Hippolito's in a good position. Arch. Oh, we got him on his back. No. Just for a hot second. Back in it. Oh, boy. We got 1 minute left. And Ed Scott's getting in there. He's going to try and finish it. Going to lift up. Hippolito's trying to do it. Ed Scott's got to keep his feet in. Out of bounds. Action call. They're going to push Ed Scott to the middle. Here's what we talked about. I said it earlier. Hippolito has had a propensity of wearing out later on in the matches, and Ed Scott is going to keep coming. You know Hippolito has a stall against him. Not a great shot there, and he's chasing the corner, back up to his feet. Hippolito's doing a good job of keeping that underhook in there. He's got to keep diving that underhook and being tough. Ed Scott has got to move his feet. Here it is. This is it. Here's it. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Can Ed Scott get there? Good job by Hippolito. This is a big match for the duel. 20 seconds. Is this enough? Hippolito staying that underhook. He's keeping that underhook. Ed Scott's got to go hard now.
Down to 10 seconds. Can Hippolito hang on? Still has that underhook in. Now Scott looking for that trip, and it will be Hippolito. A 3-2 win for Virginia Tech.
You may not like it, but Hippolito wrestled a smart match. You may not like the tactics. He ate a couple stalls, but who won the match?
In just his second match since January 19th, Rafael Hippolito extends Virginia Tech's lead. 9-0 now over the Wolfpack. They have taken the first 3 weights.
I'm going to tell you what, there was a clear strategy. There was a clear strategy that was executed properly by Hippolito. Again, it's all about winning. Hippolito won. Virginia Tech up 9-0, up at 165. Another toss-up match.
Derek Fields, North Carolina State, some pressure on the redshirt junior now. They really need him at 65. His opponent will be Mac Church. Church 11-11 this year. Had a good start to the season, has tailed off a little bit, the redshirt freshman. Both these teams with 9 ranked wrestlers in the lineup. This is the one weight where Virginia Tech is not ranked this week. Church had been ranked throughout the course of the year, but he's lost 5 straight. A couple of those in overtime, one by 2 points, another by 4. So will this be the night that Church rediscovers that winning touch against Derek Fields, the redshirt junior from Brunswick, Ohio?
If you look over their season, both these guys have had very tight matches with other opponents.
Guys, stay out of the face, please.
Just see who's going to open it up first.
Fields trying to bounce back from his first ACC loss last week. Garvin of Stanford got him in a tight one, 6-5.
Coach Roby said about Mac Church that he's been in so many tight matches. We're just waiting for him just to break through. And when you get a breakthrough with those tight matches, that's when your confidence gets stronger.
Roby told us that he spent a lot of time, really put concerted effort to putting on some size and weight this year. Probably at his best at 157 is what Roby told us earlier this year, but filling a void at 165. As we talked about, it's really been a story of a couple of different seasons for Mac Church. A strong start out of the gate, tailing off here in ACC competition.
Okay, guys, keep our hands clean, please. Set.
No score first period. Virginia Tech with the early momentum, a 9-0 lead on the Wolfpack. Church last year utilized his red shirt, won 9 matches during his red shirt campaign, a 2-time Pennsylvania state champion.
Work the score, guys.
4-year starter for Waynesburg High School. Second time that these two wrestlers have squared off this season. They met in Vegas, a match that was won by Church.
Church is doing a good job of stretching him because what Derek Fields wants to do is bring that left leg around and try and hook Mac Church's leg. Good job on the defense.
Here we go. Set.
So we said that Derek Fields took the first shot, got in, and let's see if he starts to feel confidence, because sometimes, even though you don't get the takedown, if you know you can get in on your opponent, you feel more confident to shoot often. And Mac Church, he has a little stutter step. You see that little right leg stutter step and moves. He just got to commit now.
Yep.
Under 30.
Both wrestlers keeping this one tight to the vest in this opening period. No score, 20 seconds remaining. Does not look like either wrestler is going to commit to a shot in these closing moments. Final few seconds winding down and scoreless through 3 minutes at 165.
Virginia Tech.
Our next All Access, the ACC Live, premieres Monday night featuring Notre Dame women's basketball player Liatu King, Cal gymnast Maddie Williams, and NC State diver Ashton Zuberg. You'll get unparalleled access into the lives of the student athletes, coaches, staff, parents, and fans. 7 Eastern, right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app.
Mac Church took bottom.
Yeah.
And you'll see that often with NC State wrestlers. They do a double thigh pride. When they start on top and they put both of their hands on the inside thighs and try to move forward. But a good job by Mac Church to get out. Backwards feet. Now let's see if he can use the stutter step. He has a stutter step and then he moves to the side. We just got to see him shoot. You see the stutter step? He's just got to close the gap there. Oh, that looked like he hit his head.
Stop. My time. Hey. Right now.
Church got scraped across the side of his face
guys,
there. He's all right.
Okay?
Both wrestlers right back into the center. Early stages, period number 2, a 1-0 lead right now for Mac Church. The escape early in the second. Second year in the lineup for Derek Fields. He was an NCAA qualifier last season for Papalezio. Earned an at-large bid. Went 0-2 in Kansas City, losing to Cam and Mean and Dominic Baker.
Offense, guys, offense.
Similar to like 157, these guys are, they're not doing it much, and they don't want to make a mistake. Maybe they're nervous, national television, but we're not seeing too much action here. Doubled up on that fake shot and then shot again. Since that first period, Sean, Derek Fields hasn't had another shot in.
Talked about Church with his state championships in Pennsylvania. Fields won a state title in Ohio. Wrestling family, there's been a pipeline from Brunswick down to Raleigh for the Fields family. His older brother Matt was a member of the North Carolina State wrestling team in the past. This was a tough room last year for NC State. AJ Kovacs at this weight. Matty Singleton was injured a year ago. We're going to see Singleton at 74 a little bit later on tonight. Fields' choice, he'll start underneath. Hunter Garvin clipped Fields by a point last week. The reigning ACC champ is Nick Hamilton of Virginia. He's in at 21 this week.
Ready,
Just get the feeling this
green cover
quiet right now, waiting for that first burst of action, Rock. I know you are.
I'm not just talking about the crowd here. I'm talking about the crowd watching television here. They're waiting for something to happen, fellas. Let's do something.
Fields gets away, the escape, and we're tied at 1. Riding time not a factor, so who is going to get this first takedown here?
We highlight this match as, a toss-up, and it's 1-1 going to third period. Kind of what we anticipated. So this is what drives coaches crazy. So we work on, creating offense. Want to be exciting. Every team wants to be exciting. They want to go after it. And then when guys are just patient like this, it just frustrates coaching staffs. Lots of hand fighting, batting. Mac Church is just, let's see if we can close the gap a little bit. He's going one way and going the other, but he's too far. He's faking one side and going to the other side, but he's got to close the gap. He's got to get closer. Because right now he's shooting from a distance, and when he does that, Derek Fields almost had a go behind. Literally, when someone shoots, you just literally go behind them, use their momentum. Seems unlikely that someone's going to commit and just wait to go to overtime, but try and win it in regular season. Not regular season, but doing a regular match.
Trio of coaches for North Carolina State. Pat Papalezio, Kevin Jack, Tommy Gant in the corner right now.
Good, man.
Just waiting for their junior to unleash and take a shot. But as Rock talked
Short
about,
time, guys,
does
short.
not look like it's going to happen in regulation. So we are going to head into overtime for the first time tonight. Sudden victory at 165.
And what is overtime? First point scored. Don't care how it comes. If it's an illegal hold, if it's a takedown,
Okay, here we go.
it does not matter. You see the rules on here, 2 minutes sudden victory.
2 minutes, guys,
It's just
2 minutes. You got no
any
warning.
point scored. It does
Set.
not have to be a takedown. It could be any point scored in the first 2 minutes will end the match.
Is this a must-have if you're NC State?
Absolutely. So that was a shot there. Let's see if Mac Church shoots as Derek Fields comes up. Well, Derek Fields did take a committed shot. Want to see Mac Church close the gap. He's too far out. He's got a good motion, good foot movement, but he's just got to get closer. If he takes a bad shot, why should it go behind from Derek Fields?
Both wrestlers very calculated. Weary of that reshot by the opponent. Tied at 1, 60 seconds in this sudden victory. We started the night at 41. Virginia Tech picking up 3 straight decisions. Latona, Henson, and Hippolito.
Holding position, holding wrist, move your hands. They got to move their hands, move their levels, and create the offense. We got to see someone try to take the win, you know? They want to just go and get the win.
Fields taking a couple of glances up at the clock, seeing just how much time he has to work, 20 seconds.
Circling, staying in the BT, but no one's committing.
Final few moments, and we will go into the 2 tiebreakers. Offense at a premium, tough to come by at 165.
30 seconds.
So the choice
Red,
goes to
top, bottom,
Derek
neutral,
Fields,
or
and Derek
defer.
Fields says he wants to take bottom for the first
Bottom,
30
red
seconds.
going bottom first.
And you wrestle through these 30 seconds. So whatever points accumulates in this 30 seconds, you just don't stop.
Hey,
Mac
full
Church
30
wants to
seconds,
try and
guys, full 30.
keep Derek Fields down. 1-1.
Ready, set.
Neither wrestler
Green,
had any
cover.
luck with their one opportunity to ride during regulation. Both wrestlers securing quick escapes. Fields into a stand-up. Now that hand fight, prompt return by Church. Brings him back down.
Green 1, green 2.
He's holding on to that ankle, look for a stall call.
Good job there to work his way up the body, keep control, and then drive Fields out of bounds while still maintaining that control. Really nicely done by Mac Church.
Really well done. You see that often with guys from the state of Pennsylvania. They are very good on the mat.
Ready,
Now at this
set.
point, Derek Fields got to do
Cover.
something. This is a big deal.
See if he can get that quick start off the whistle, hit that stand up. Cannot, slowly bridges himself up into a quad pod. Now he's up to his feet. Church drops in on that leg, swings that far leg back, trying to hook that sweep. And he rides him out for the full 30 seconds. Advantage, Mac Church.
Not even that. There's no
Green,
stalling
two,
call
bottom.
either. So, 30 seconds.
One green,
Oh,
neutral.
and immediately, wow. Derek Fields says, I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to give him the 1 point right now and try and take him down. So now we're definitely going to see some action. So it's really 2-1,
Yeah.
Mac Church. And Mac Church doesn't have to do a whole lot. There's a shot.
15 seconds. Fields needing the takedown to get North Carolina State on the board. Church dodging, dancing. Fields running out of time, and Virginia Tech is 4 for 4. Tiebreaker, Mac Church snaps his 5-match losing skid.
Let me tell you something. Say what you want about these last 2 matches. Virginia Tech
All the way
won.
around.
They had a way to go about it, and they won. And I'm telling you what, this is getting ugly. Virginia Tech is now up 12-0. Let's see if they can figure out something here, because Matt Church helped out the Hokies.
The ACC's Committee for Racial and Social Justice, in conjunction with its member institutions, have identified February 13th through the 23rd as ACC Unity Week. Back with you from Cassell Coliseum, alongside Rock Harrison, Sean Kenny. Virginia Tech has won the first 4 weights, 12-0. The 10th-ranked Hokies on top, looking for their 6th straight dual win as we bump to 174. Lennox Wallach, Virginia Tech 9-7, but showing signs of life late in the year for the All-American, the transfer from Columbia. His opponent, Maddie Singleton, the redshirt sophomore. Here comes Wallach, who had a huge pin last week over Luca Augustine of Pitt. That's a tough guy to put on his back.
Did a flying cement job against somebody from PA.
Wallach with a couple of falls in his last 3 matches. Senior from Columbus, Ohio. First year in Blacksburg after the transfer from Columbia. Arrived a little bit late in the summer. Did not arrive until the middle of July. Now watch out here. Singleton has him up in the air. Both wrestlers locked up. Singleton clears the head and gets the 3.
Interesting, because Wallach likes to do that inside trip or a reap. And then right there, Maddie Singleton went and he attacked it. He didn't try to back up. He attacked it, popped his hips, and he's on top.
Just incredible, Rock. The first
backside,
takedown tonight for North Carolina State.
Wow.
Comes at the 5th weight of the night at 174.
We don't want to start to look forward too much, but this is almost must-win situation for the Wolfpack.
Both guys keep working here, both men.
Singleton with the early takedown, a minute into this opening period. And Wallach is away, so 45 seconds for Singleton with the ride, 3-1.
Wallach, as you said, is a high flyer. He will continue to go to what he does best. Inside position, but Maddie Singleton has a freestyle pedigree as well. Had some good international world success.
Yeah, took bronze medal at the 79 kilo division at the U20 Worlds back in August of 23. Last year just slowed down by injury, had surgery on his hand and re-injured the hand in the Davidson tourney. Spent a ton of time this offseason, at least when he was away from the mat, lifting, working out, doing a ton of VO2 max, building that cardio when he just quite couldn't have that physical contact as that hand healed following the surgery. We had a good talk with Singleton as you see these two wrestlers with those underhooks. You asked about that post single and how he loves to use that, and he told you he wants to open up more, and that's something that he certainly has put as a priority these last couple of weeks of the regular season, about being a little bit more aggressive.
Action, man, action.
Good re-attack there. My goodness. That's something that was really, it looks like he might get some back points there. We got back points here. This is big for NC State. They needed this. This is a tough situation for Wallach. Getting swipes here. Big first period for Maddie Singleton.
4 red.
This is exactly what the doctor ordered for North Carolina State. They needed a shot in the arm tonight on the road, and Maddie Singleton delivering.
Watch the inside trip and watch me attacks it. He doesn't give him space. He attacks it, pops his hips, and brings him to the mat. Good job when it has an inside trip, not to give weight,
second period,
but you attack. And here it is, right when Wallach went to attack, Maddie Singleton hit a re-attack. And then get some back points here to open this up to a 10-1 lead. Point tilt. More back points. This is a big comeback.
Just the one swipe on 2 occasions, so no back points. Good job there by Wallach to get back to his base. When it looked like he was in danger, Singleton imposing his will at 174. 10-1, Maddie Singleton on top. that left leg pinch to Wallach underneath.
And he's using his right foot to push. You see that right toe? He's really using that for leverage. He's got the left leg in, Matty Singleton, and using that right foot to push to get across the body.
Action.
Looking really strong on top.
Couple of minutes of riding time, and that just continues to tick upward for Singleton. A dominant ride. Wallach unable to get free, and even when he gets up to his feet, Singleton with an answer for that. Wallach right back up again. Let's see if Singleton can bring him back down. He cannot. Wallach is away, but boy, oh boy, looking at a serious uphill climb now.
Wallach is still going to start throwing stuff at you now. Don't think he's going to slow down. He's going to try and do an inside trip. He'll throw a headlock as well. Guys that have big moves like Wallach, they're never out of a match.
They never are. That Greco background where he can put you feet to back just like that.
But Matty Singleton is wrestling very smart. He's wrestling his match, taking advantage of opportunities that are presented to him. This is what NC State needed.
Singleton able to add to his riding time in the second period despite not being able to get any type of turn.
Bottom. Red chooses bottom.
So here's the point where we thought there were back points, but just 2-1 counts. It looked like there was going to be more, but no back points, but still a solid ride there by Matty Singleton.
Move your hands forward, please. Stay set right there.
Singleton
Green
really
cover.
perked up when we started talking wrestling in the state of Georgia, his home state. Another wonderful state tournament last weekend for Georgia. Some really good individuals coming through those state championships. Matty, part of the Woodward Academy, spent some of his years with Compound. Of course, Lou Roper, Cliff Fretwell with Team Compound. Dave Schultz Award winner for the state of Georgia back in 2022. He was a big find for Papalizio and an impressive showing on the road tonight.
Neutral.
He went, almost looked like a Metzger. Look for a throw there. I told you, Wallach is not going to stop. He's going to go hard.
Tons of experience with Wallach, the two-time NCAA qualifier for Columbia. He's going to need some of those big throws, big moves late.
Stalemate. Stalemate.
Get a stalemate, a minute 26 to go.
Now here's the question you have to ask yourself with Virginia Tech. Hey, do you want your guy to keep going and try and create opportunities to score big points? But Matty Singleton has always been there and don't want to give him a Tech fall there. Wallach is still moving forward. He is not going to stop.
Drive in that left arm underhook. Singleton tagged with a stall. Some of that forward progress that you were talking about from Wallach here.
Trying to lock up.
1 minute remaining.
He can either throw left or right. You saw that? He locked up. He's either going to, depending on where that lead leg was, it depends on where you're going to throw your hips for a headlock. So when you do an underhook and lock behind the head, you've got to see where his hips are. And if his hips are one way, you throw your hips the opposite way.
Singleton has riding time locked up, so he's looking at a 10-point lead, which would be a bonus point for North Carolina State. Wallach comes in on a low leg shot. Singleton disappears from that.
Seems like Singleton has gotten to a point where he's like, look, he just doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't want to do anything to not get this bonus point victory. And Wallach is trying to make sure he doesn't give up a bonus point victory. He's going to keep popping his hips in. He's going to try and get that right leg out. But Matty Singleton is going to try to keep that leg isolated.
No control.
Short time. And I tell you what, if there's any time that the Wolfpack needed to win like this, it was this match to get on the scoreboard.
A bonus point for North Carolina State. Matty Singleton, your winner by major decision with the riding time, and for the first time tonight, the Wolfpack on the board. Matty Singleton delivers. We hit the intermission. Some big names coming up from Blacksburg as the fans from Raleigh have something to cheer about. '69th all-time meeting, North Carolina State, Virginia Tech. Normally the stakes are high, and that is the case once again this year as we welcome you back inside a real vibrant atmosphere inside Cassell Coliseum in Blacksburg, halfway home, and it is Virginia Tech out in front. Score of 12-4. The Hokies winning the first 4 matches by way of decision. The first bonus point goes to NC State of the night. Maddie Singleton coming through at 174 pounds, a 12-2 major over Lennox Waller.
And they needed this win, NC State, just to try and get some momentum, but it doesn't stop here. We got another tight match coming up at 184. That's the one that's going to be exciting as we look at Dylan Fishback and TJ Stewart returning All-American ACC champion. These two guys have wrestled twice, and TJ Stewart has won both, but that was last year, and this is the new year.
A rematch of last year's ACC championship, and here comes TJ Stewart. Very reminiscent to what we saw from Stewart last year, finding his groove late in the season. He has been a bonus point machine of late. He's won his last 5 matches by bonus points, always a fan favorite. Can Dylan Fishback slow down his offense tonight?
Fan favorite because he throws lateral drops. It's crazy. You know a lateral drop, and it's usually something that rarely happens, but it seems like TJ Stewart just loves to lock up, and before you know it, he twists his hips.
Rock, you talked about those 2 matches last year, the ACC title. Stewart won it 8-5 over Fishback. He also beat Fishback in the duel 7-2. As you watch Dylan Fishback in his sophomore season, what have you noticed about him? Where has the improvement come?
A lot of times the improvements are things we just don't see, and many times that's the mental aspect. How do you get through a season? Making sure you pace yourself, making sure you understand what you do well and what positions you need to stay out of. So I don't see much technically that I'm doing, but just from what I see how he's approaching matches and talking to him, it seems like mentally he's gotten better.
Flew under the radar somewhat last year at Nationals, had a quietly strong initial showing in Kansas City. Won 3 matches, 184 pounds.
One of the things I enjoy watching my Fishback is that many times he just keeps his stance. He has a good low single. He has a hard left leg lead, and he shoots to his opponent's left leg. And you can see TJ Stewart has that right leg back.
Finger! Get out of that grip.
Fishback told us early on in his career it was a situation where he was just respecting guys too much. He had to come down on that belief a little bit. Now athletes are scouting him, respecting him for what he can do. Trying to steer the action here, not letting Stewart circle it back into the center, having him pinned along that outside of the cylinder, and that's the result that you're going to get, the stall on Stewart.
Hey, look, if you're going to dance on the outside and not really go forward, that's what happens.
Working that 2-on-1, Stewart clears out the arm. 65 seconds, first period, scoreless.
Reminiscent to last year when he became an All-American. He had a slow start, had to get his weight down, and it ended up being All-American. This year he had a very slow start, but as you mentioned before, Sean, he's been scoring bonus points of late.
The slow start surprised Roby and the coaching staff. He had a really good summer. Roby described it as an unbelievably good summer. Coaches were excited about the progression and the work that he put in. Well, that work has paid off in the month of February as he appears to be peaking at the right time. TJ Stewart. Scoreless here in the first period. Stewart has been warned for stalling once. Wise to recircle it back into the center this time. Short time, and we will head to the second. Key swing weight at 184 pounds, scoreless.
Green, your choice.
Number 1, Notre Dame highlights our final Thursday night women's basketball doubleheader on the regular season. Next week, Clemson and Louisville tip off the night at 6 Eastern. Then Hannah Hidalgo and the top-ranked Irish host Florida State in South Bend. Should be another great night of hoops right here on the ACC Network.
And Fishback took bottom.
Red, you're set.
Choice was for Virginia Tech. Stewart deferred and immediately tripods up, gets up in 3 seconds.
Neutral.
No problem there for Fishback and a 1-0 lead.
The thing that you notice about Dylan Fishback, he hasn't really gone to his low single. And here's, you saw he was looking for that lateral.
He really was.
But I was saying with Fishback, he hasn't really had a committed shot. He's held ground, he's moved forward, but there's kind of a committed shot there, but that's the first real shot he's had this match.
Stewart, the reigning champ, ACC Freshman of the Year. All-American showing, finished 7th a season ago.
Heavy hips there by Fishback. Now he's got to choose a side. He's got that leg. You see his ankle. He's got to kind of get that hips away and then pick a side to try and go behind, but looks like into a stalemate.
Stalemate. Good action,
Stewart was
Good
in. He just kind of stopped. He didn't really drive through.
Down to the face, guys.
Here's the thing about TJ Stewart. It just takes one move, one explosive scenario, and then he's going to wow this Cassell crowd.
He just builds and builds and builds throughout the course of a match. Fishback jumping on that front headlock and try to hit that high C, not there.
These guys are doing something here. Not that much. Now, so Stewart's got a circle. He cannot back out.
Yeah, Fishback continuing to take territory. Stewart circles it back in near the center. Short time. Under 5 seconds to go, period 2. And Stewart's going to have an opportunity to get that point back as we march to the 3rd.
Easy. Green, your
Stewart
choice.
is going to choose bottom.
Green chooses bottom.
1-0. If you saw the coaching staff, you all didn't see it on screen, but the coaching staff of NC State said keep him down, meaning that they believe that Fishback can ride TJ Stewart.
Green, you're set.
We're about to find out real soon.
That last shot you saw Zach Esposito, his first year in Raleigh, jumped to North Carolina State in April. What a wealth of knowledge and experience to add to this staff alongside Kevin Jack and Tommy Gant. See if Fishback can heed his coach's suggestion. He cannot. Stewart is away. We're tied at 1. It becomes a takedown match with riding time not a factor.
Both guys are, doing what they do to guys that are high-level wrestlers. They're picking their spots. Fishback knows if he takes a bad shot, good hips there by TJ Stewart, because he looked like he was in a bad position. Next time that happens, Dylan Fishback's got to pop his hips in. He kind of just uses his shoulders, got to pop his hips.
Fishback whips a lot of people over on what we just saw, but you talked about the hips there, a brick wall with TJ Stewart.
1 minute remaining, 1 minute remaining.
So remember, TJ Stewart has a stall call. He's got to circle. If he stays on the outside and wrestles like this, it's not a good situation. He kind of grounded himself there. That's freestyle, but he just dropped to make sure he doesn't give up anything.
He did not want to go backwards, step out, so he went right down to both knees. Fishback bringing the fight to him in this 3rd period.
Just feel like Stewart is just waiting just for that moment. You just got to feel it. But I'm telling you, he's doing enough. There's Stewart. Is that it? Just enough. There's a roll through. Mutual danger. We just said it. He's just going to do enough. He's going to try to crowd forward. He's putting his left foot down and crowd forward, but there's no takedown there. Nothing there. There is no takedown there. Looks like we're going to go for it. And EJ's trying to get that neutral danger. And here we're coming up. It's a switch, a reversal of fortune. Reversal of fortune. Nothing yet. TJ Stewart. Look at this. Moving forward. Is that a fall? That's close. That's very close. Neutral danger. That's a take. No, it wasn't. He did not get the 3. He did not get the 3.
Go to your corners.
Wow. Whoa. They're going to look this over. His hand was coming up on that 3rd, and I heard the sound. I don't think that was 3. Wow.
So a lot to digest as they go over to the scores table. As you take a live look at our 2 officials, Kevin Lineage, Matt Sorchinski. Let's break down the neutral danger and what they're going to be looking at right now.
Lots of scramble, lots of moving around. We thought that TJ Stewart was right there, but then Dylan Fishback lifts up the ankle and swims his hips around. At that point, Dylan Fishback was in a top position, was not in control for a takedown, and the back of TJ Stewart broke 90 degrees. Even though there's no control, the referee said, danger green, and then he starts to count. 1 1,000, 2 1,000. If he had gotten to 3 1,000, it would have been a takedown. But it looked like he was about 2.5, and then I heard the horn. But they're going over to the corner and look at it.
This is an official's review. No brick was thrown. They've reached their verdict. Let's listen in.
The review, the ruling on the mat changed. We have a takedown.
They got it. He got the neutral danger takedown. It doesn't get much closer than that. It does not get much closer than that. Wow.
In literally the 7th minute, Dylan Fishback snatches the win for North Carolina State. And don't look now, but all of a sudden, here come the Wolfpack.
Hey, that was another swing match right there. And it doesn't get more swing than that. I mean, you saw it. It was a neutral danger, and of course, they went over to the screen and looked at it, and they say, hey, that was 3. And now, hey, we got a little duel going on right now.
This is what this rivalry is all about. Now we're cooking. 197, number 16 in the country, Andy Smith. 6-5 this season, ready to take on Christian Knopp of North Carolina State. He enters with a mark of 8-7, 2-3 in ACC action. Smith, the redshirt senior, like Latona, honored earlier tonight from nearby Christiansburg, Virginia. He's lost his last couple of matches. Max Stout, Nick Stemmet of Stanford, last time out. As a result, he was ranked as high as 8th in the country. He has fallen out of the top 10, now checking in at number 16.
And Andy Smith had a huge win 2 years ago against Isaac Trumbull, who we'll see coming up next. And Andy Smith has a snatch single. It kind of just reaches across, and he also has a sweep single. He uses his length very well. Tough to finish on.
That really was the signature win when you look at Andy Smith, and he took off from there. You mentioned that upset of Trumbull a couple of years ago, one of the big wins in his career, and he has been really good since. 2-time NCAA qualifier, made it to the round of 12 last year in his second championship appearance. Been dinged up a little bit this season, has missed some time. Just hope he's healthy for the March championship run.
One of the things that you see with Andy Smith, he is really wearing on that head and neck area of Knopp. And then he clamped with the right hand, and then when Knopp goes inside to defend it, what does Andy Smith go? He goes to the left hand. That's what I say, busy hands. Busy hands, you kind of like a drive in a car, you move it left and right, and that's what Andy Smith was doing. Left hand club, right hand club.
Action there, guys, action.
And even though Smith is certainly the favorite, you just don't know, and you can't really quantify what momentum does. These things that you're seeing with Andy Smith, it's not showing up on the scoreboard right now, but in college wrestling, it's a 7-minute 7-minute match, and it just wears people down. Keep banging on the head, pulling on the head. Where you see it, he's wearing it down. That's how you get somebody off your head. You shoot.
Change of level there from Knopp, the 60-year grad student. Another wrestler from the state of Alabama, just like Sam Latona, Alexandria High School for Knopp. His final year of eligibility and with 10 seconds to go against the ranked wrestler on the road. We're scoreless through the first period. Tomorrow's men's basketball triple-header right here on the ACC Network. Georgia Tech and BC tipping all off at 2 Eastern, followed by Chase Hunter and 18th-ranked Clemson. They're in Dallas to take on SMU. Virginia Tech, Miami caps off a busy day of hoops right here on the ACC Network.
Good slide up by Knopp.
Neutral.
Andy Smith growing up in nearby Christiansburg, Virginia. Practically neighbors with Blacksburg. He met Roby in his younger years at a Virginia Tech camp. Back then, a lot of the Christiansburg guys would come over to the camp and be a part of it. He arrived in college. He was a big guy, 250 pounds or so. Really changed his body. Went through some tough years early on in his career, finding that transition. He told us about his first semester in Blacksburg and how rough it was. He was working 30 to 35 hours a week, helping to pay for the education. He was lifting, taking those classes, working out. He would then go to a local pizza company, would work throughout the evening shift. Wanted to be a starter in this lineup and shaped his body and he's had a really fine, solid career the last couple of seasons, an anchor that Tony Roby can rely on at 197.
This is an Andy Smith match. He's going to continue to get it, kind of wear your head, but then take shots, and then he'll finally get to the leg. And Knopp has got to try to, again, move and create angles because Smith is going straight ahead. So when someone's coming straight ahead, you want to create angles. The shot. That's what this is a typical Smith match. He's got some short time. He's got to come and try and bring that. He's going to lock behind the knee. He can lock behind the knee with both hands and drive forward. He's almost there. Short time. He's going to have to rush it. Just enough. No takedown. Is that there?
Right foot on the hardwood for Knopp, and he avoids giving up the three. And this crowd voices their displeasure.
And that's a good position to be in. He got the shot in and a stall call. So here it is. This is a typical Andy Smith match. He bangs ahead, finally gets in and starts to rush. You see him look up the clock, watch it trip. It's in slow motion, so you would say that's a takedown, but he kind of just wiggled it out beyond reaction time.
Smith quickly up to his feet and working on that grip of Knopp, and no problem there. He is away.
Neutral.
If Knopp does not do anything, Christian Smith knows how to win this match. Continue to move forward. Continue to move, but good defense here by Knopp. He's got to straighten out that right leg. He doesn't want to bend. He wants to get that leg straight. Stalemate position. So at this point, they're asking him just to go up, go up, go up. When I say him, we're talking about Knopp. If you looked at the NC State coaches, they said go up, go up, go up.
One thing to keep in mind as well, we want to make sure it doesn't get lost in that last shot to close out the second period. Simultaneously, a Smith shot, Knopp got warned for stalling. So keep that in mind here in this third period. And just as I say that, there comes the stall call, so Smith will go up 2-1.
This is a typical Andy Smith match. This is how he wrestles. He's been doing this his career. He's not ashamed to win these matches by doing what he does well. So Knopp has got to do something. He just can't hold on here. He's got to create some type of position by creating angles. He just can't go straight ahead and against Smith because that's what Smith wants you to do. And you see him peek up at the clock. He knows what he's doing. He's done this so often. At some point, there's got to be a sprint. There's got to be a sprint by now. I tell you what, looking at Smith, he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what's happening. And he's going to be able to continue his winning ways.
A season in which Andy Smith has been slowed down by a couple of injuries. On a night in which North Carolina State have won back-to-back matches and grabbed some of this momentum, another one of those seniors honored tonight delivers on senior night. The stall call in the third period, the difference, Andy Smith, a flex of the muscle, and Virginia Tech extends their lead. Lots of excitement here in Blacksburg. You won't want to miss what we have coming up next. Jimmy Mullen, Isaac Trumbull, the two giants collide at heavyweight.
Welcome to the ACC. He did it! He got the takedown!
And champions from the past, anxious to leave one final mark on their legacy. The month of March is a good thing for the wrestling world. The ACC Wrestling Championship, Cameron Indoor, Pat Papalizio, and North Carolina State. They've had a death grip on this conference. 6 consecutive ACC titles for the Wolfpack. They have 21 in all. North Carolina, here come the Tar Heels back again. 17 total team titles. And as we started this show, a lot on the line. If NC State wins this duel, they are your outright regular season champs. If Virginia Tech wins and North Carolina wins on the West Coast later tonight against Stanford, then a 3-way tie atop the regular season ranks. This is going to be fun. Heavyweight, here we go. Isaac Trumbull, the redshirt junior. Redshirted a season ago, up at heavyweight for the first time, and he has been good. 16-3 this year. 15 bonus point wins for Jimmy Mullen of Virginia Tech, the redshirt freshman. Dual sport athlete when he first arrived at Blacksburg, was part of the Hokie football team, but he has turned all of his attention to the mat, and certainly you can see the work paying off with his production of late. Perfect in ACC competition, the top seed in that ACC championship next month on the line with these two. Mullen 5-0 in ACCs, Trumbull 5-0 as well. The two giants colliding.
I'm excited about this match. Difference in styles. Jimmy Mullen is going to create space, create angles, because there's things that Isaac Trumbull does extremely well, and you want to stay from being underneath. And as you can see right now, Jimmy Mullen's moving around, just trying to dart in, just trying to see where is the opening on Isaac Trumbull. And both of these guys have a good freestyle backgrounds as well.
These two wrestlers met in their redshirt season last year at the Midlands, with Trumbull winning by major decision 12-4. But it is a different Jimmy Mullen this season, no doubt about it.
A Jimmy Mullen that's committed to wrestling.
Walked on to the Virginia Tech football team. He was an undersized defensive tackle, so on the gridiron, he was a man without a position. Football coaches loved him. He played in the spring game his freshman year, but ultimately made the decision to go full-time wrestling right after the NCAAs, he told us. It was a powerful experience, he described, and he wanted to be a part of it. Virginia Tech program that has had 3 straight top 10 finishes at nationals.
This is where Jimmy wants to be. He wants to create space. He doesn't want to tie up with Trumbull. And Trumbull usually just stalking, little steps here, little steps to the right, little steps to the left, just a little bit, but he's moving forward. Keeping Jimmy Mullen on the outside.
Very similar approach to what we saw with Hippolito and Scott earlier in the night.
Good point.
Side a minute to go, no score.
And you can see immediately that usually we see Jimmy taking shots and doing lots of things. but he respects Trumbull because you take a bad shot on Isaac Trumbull, you're going to feel heavy hips. And he will crunch you, and then before you know it, he's going to take down, and he's really, really strong on top. Short time, and guys are still filling each other out. This is pretty much, I'm not going to say do or die, but the Wolfpack need these next 3 matches to have a shot.
Well, you look at what we still have coming up. These two here at heavyweight. Then you have a top 5 showdown with Ventresca and Robinson at 25, and we finish the night with McGonigal
Green, you deferred.
and Kyle Reaney, the 2-time ACC
Green
champ.
defers to red. Red chooses
Isaac
bottom.
Trumbull, new weight this year. He spent his first 2 seasons down at 197.
Second period.
He reached the ACC finals twice
Red, you're
at that
set.
weight, redshirted
Green,
last
cover.
year. Rock talked about the international success that he has had in freestyle, the U23
Green one.
world champion.
Green 2.
This is where Trumbull wants to be.
Green 4.
This is exactly
Green
where
5.
he's very strong. And so the referee called stalling
Stalling.
against Mullen for
Right
holding
side,
onto the
good
leg
man.
too long, and they made the change. They said, look, let him up. It looks
First
like
warning there, Green. Okay.
I saw Coach Roby give him the shine to
Gotta stay set for me
optional
down
start,
here, please. A
but it
little
looks like
quick
they've
last
changed their
time.
mind now.
Red set.
So it's a
Go ahead,
stall
Green.
call against Jimmy Mullen.
And with that stall call, you saw the referee signal the riding time stopped as well, so that's why the riding time not matching as far as what we're seeing in the clock
One
time in
red.
the second period. There's the escape for Trumbull and a
Neutral.
1-0 lead for the redshirt junior out of the state of Nebraska. Grew up just outside Omaha in Springfield.
Fingers.
I'm interested to figure out Mullen again. We've seen him before,
Down the grip,
who
guys.
takes a lot of shots, but that's the heavy hips. This is where Isaac Trumbull is so ridiculously strong and good, so he's now going to try and
Potentially dangerous. They're going to stop that quickly.
So Mullen got in, but he immediately felt the hip pressure of Trumbull. Trumbull, similar to what we saw at 197 with Smith, they know what they do well. You know, they're not going to wow you with some athleticism and something crazy. They stick to what they do well, don't
Down
make
the
mistakes,
face.
and continue to win.
Out of the face.
.40 seconds, a 1-0 lead. Trumbull with the escape in the second period. Mullen will have his choice in the third.
Good movement by that. Mullen is continuing to move, but the good job by Trumbull, he's just keeping his stance. Keeping his stance, continue to move forward. Woo! Almost there. Good defense there. Is that enough? Is that enough? Is that it? Is that it? There's a takedown. Picked his moment perfectly. Look at this. Drop down, bam! And he caught him right on his heels. Good job to keep moving. Reach to the other leg. Jimmy Mullen's up. He's going to try and keep Trumbull down. This is big.
Green cover.
Can he keep him down for 7 seconds? Quick explosive start. Trumbull tried to hit that switch. Mullen swallows up that waist again. Trumbull turns, faces, and gets away just as the second period ends.
Green, your choice.
Oh, that's why you keep wrestling.
Green chooses neutral.
And what happened? Jimmy Mullen said, I'm not going underneath this man. I'm staying on my feet. Now, Jimmy Mullen's up by 1. Riding time is not making a difference, and we're about to see what Isaac Trumbull can do from the offensive position in attacking. Jimmy Mullen is now in a position where he can pick his spots a little more effectively. Isaac Trumbull has to come to him now.
Trumbull in deep, counter nicely here by Mullen. The two wrestlers arm in arm, and now the go behind here by Trumbull in a position to grab the lead. Nothing yet established, and there's the 3. So Trumbull goes back in front. Needing offense, he went on the attack.
It's interesting when you have to create offense, how you are able to create offense. Watch the back points here. We might be in a defensive fall position. That looks tight. Look, back points, no. We're scrambling. Who's in control? Trumbull's still in control. Look at this. And there's a brick out. Still in control, getting riding time. Riding time still accumulating for Trumbull. Watch the back points here. Look at this. This is a crazy situation here.
See the flexibility of Trumbull with that leg extended way out there. A brick thrown by the North Carolina State coaching staff. Trumbull, in the meantime, continues with this ride near the edge.
It sure does. They're going to wait for a break in the action. Now,
I got
the break in the action, I'm assuming that they're looking to see if there are back points. And that's an okay brick there. I think, let's see what Pop Lizzo says. He's looking and you see the swipes. Coach Apposito said, yeah, I think we got at least 2 swipes there. Looks like he's explaining. The official said, look, it was above 4 inches. So from their perspective, when I say their perspective, Pat Popolizio and Zach Esposito thought they were swipes. He should have been in criteria. Criteria is your back has to be at 45 degrees and within 4 inches. So little tight situation there, but they're looking at, is it 4 inches? And just by the indication of head referee Kevin Lenich, he moved his hand saying it was too high, coach.
Above that 4-inch threshold.
Correct. So at that point, it looked like there were back points from their perspective, all the way across the mat. But the official gave the indication that it was above 4 inches, therefore no back points. Let's see what the call is.
After further review, there are no near falls. No near falls.
No near falls. So while it looked like back points were there, it looked like it was above the 4 inches, 5-3. Isaac Trumbull's very tough on top.
Riding time again will not factor into this, so Mullen needs an escape and then a takedown. Sit out position by Mullen. Trumbull not flinching, not budging an inch. Has him completely flattened out. 19 seconds.
Necessary win for NC State. Isaac Trumbull down. Said, look, I'm not a defensive wrestler all the time. I can go out and get it. And it looks like Isaac Trumbull has now put Virginia Tech, NC State, in a position where they're still in this dual meet.
Trumbull needed offense in that third period. He went out, he found that takedown, and he hands Jimmy Mullen his first ACC loss of the year. Trumbull will pick up the top seed next month at the ACC Championship. Not the last we see between these two outstanding heavyweights. And North Carolina State inches just a little bit closer with 2 weights to go. Top 5 showdown, buckle up, 125 pounds. Vince Robinson, he has emerged, big-time star out of Chicago, the redshirt freshman, 18-1 this year. He's won 6 straight. Eddie Ventresca, the 2023 All-American, back in that Hokies starting lineup this year. 15-3 for Ventresca.
Finally, this Virginia Tech NC State match is starting to live up to what we were hoping for. And 2 guys, this is Vince Robinson's first All-American that he's gone against, and it's an All-American that season. It was a 27th seed, worked his way through lots of tight matches, and Vince Robinson says the most underrated piece of my wrestling game is my wrestling IQ. I drilled him, didn't I?
You did. You were going wrestler after wrestler, and he was whipping out these answers as quick as he's getting takedowns on the mat. He knew the scouting report of several different wrestlers top to bottom. You threw out a wide range of competitors at 125.
Both guys do a single leg shot. One thing that Vince Robinson does on his shots, he keeps really good head position on his singles. And when you see Eddie Ventresca get his single, he really sweeps and he really gets behind and works his way through. The reason why he really sweeps and gets behind, it's hard for people to square up when you really get behind them. You're starting to build a tension in here, aren't you?
Absolutely. All of a sudden, very quiet. This crowd feeling really good through the first 4 weights. They picked up a couple of swing weight wins, but then Maddie Singleton victory at 174 seemed to have ignited North Carolina State. 2 weights to go, a 5-point Hokie lead. The ACC regular season championship on the line as Ventruska gets in on a leg.
That's his bread and butter. He's very good here. And Vince Robinson is fighting hands. Keep it's a light wizard in, but he's fighting hands. He brought the wizard down to the mat where he wants to be. So at this point, look at the rolls. Very good wrestling right here. The referee stopped it because knees were all tied up and wrangled up. That's what we mentioned before. Eddie Ventruska got to that ceiling and he was trying to get behind. And when he couldn't get behind to reach for the other ankle, he lifted it up. Stout defense by Robinson there.
Ventruska 4-1 in ACC duels. His only loss was to Spencer Moore of North Carolina in sudden victory. Body of work this year for Vince Robinson. His only loss was a countable medical forfeit to Matt Ramos earlier this year.
That's one guy that's looked really good at 25, Ramos.
Wide open weight class when you look at the national scene. It'll be fun in Philadelphia. See some of that speed here by Robinson, but up to the challenge was Eddie Ventruska as he backpedaled out of harm's way.
Both guys had really quickness.
Action there, guys, action.
So now, Ventruska got in on the shot, but this time when he got in, he said, I felt the speed of Robinson, so you wonder, does he become a little trigger shy? Top 5 battle. These guys are going to go into the second period. 0-0. Good flurries here.
Red, NC State, Detroit.
Our next gymnastics meet is Sunday afternoon as number 16 Stanford squares off against Clemson inside Little John Coliseum. Coverage gets underway at 4 Eastern right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Strong position here for Ventruska on top. Cuts out that right arm of Robinson. Robinson to a sit out. Quickly up to his feet, and he is away.
That's impressive because Eddie Ventruska is really strong on top.
This weight class for North Carolina State, 125, it has been a strength. They have made the final of the ACCs the past 9 years in this weight. Robinson hoping to continue that trend, one of the nation's top freshmen. 3-time ACC Wrestler of the Week this year.
He's got the double knee pads on.
We asked him why North Carolina State all the way from the Midwest in Chicago, just outside Chicago. He said he knew Darian Caldwell, a great Wolfpack wrestler from the past. Thought originally he was going to wrestle 133, but the more he hung around the team, got to know Tariq Wilson, one of the assistant coaches, Kai Arini, his teammate. He thought 125 was a better fit, and I'd say it has worked out pretty well for this young man.
Eddie's doing a good job of slowing Robinson down, making him think twice about some of his offensive attacks. He's keeping his stance relatively low. When he squats down, he keeps his left hand to defend. We mentioned before, Ventruska's been in these matches before. He's not going to get rattled by the pedigree of someone that he wrestles. He's beaten All-Americans. This is Robinson's first All-American.
Are you surprised so far through the first couple of periods?
In the fact that Robinson really hasn't gotten in on a shot, I am surprised by that. But Eddie Ventruska, I'm not surprised. He's wrestled in these tight matches before.
Tresca's choice
The bottom position
will go underneath.
number 3.
Ian Caldwell, the NCAA champion back in 2009, the most outstanding wrestler. What a run it was for Caldwell that year. Winning the title at 149 pounds. Good connection to have, and Robinson would like to add his name to that national champion list in Raleigh. Ventresca underneath. See what he can do as he slowly gets up to his feet. Good position here to get away. As we both thought, this would come down to the feet, tied at 1.
Here we go. This match is necessary for NC State.
Ventresca win here seals the deal for Virginia Tech in this duel.
Fingers.
Oh, this is what we
Stop that
expected.
grip, guys. Let that go.
Ventresca's been the only one that's really been in on a committed shot and almost finished on Robinson. Robinson hasn't gotten to his legs. Ventresca's doing a good job. Let's see. I just feel a shot from too far away. Eddie jacked him up.
Experience against youth. Ventresca, the All-American from a couple of years ago, as they go skipping their way out of bounds.
1 minute, my heart's racing. It's going to come down to this. Virginia Tech, NC State, 1-1. Top 5 battle, number 3.
1 minute remaining.
Eddie Robinson, number 5. Eddie Ventresca, under a minute. Eddie Ventresca wins, it's over. The duel meet's over. And if Robinson wins, we keep going. There it is! He got it! Woo! Ventresca shot through Robinson. Oh boy, this is it! And Cassell is feeling it. Eddie Ventresca doing a great job of keeping number 3 down. Did you see that shot? He flew right through him.
Robinson trying to squirm his way toward the out of bounds just to get a restart. And this place going nuts with what we just saw from Ventresca, the lightning quick 3 to grab the lead late.
Eddie Ventresca's been in these situations before. I told you he's a veteran. He's been, and did he blow through? Wow!
Don't move. 3. 3-1. 3-2.
The chant of Eddie echoing inside Cassell Coliseum. Injured a year ago, had to sit and watch, utilized his red shirt, came back for moments like this.
They are pumped. They are pumped here in Cassell. Eddie Ventresca sealed the deal. Look at this. This is an unbelievable shot here. Slow it down and watch him just blow through. Runs it right through. Gets the takedown. This place erupts. And look at Virginia Tech knowing that they have a championship in the ACC regular season.
You knew this was going to be an emotional night for Virginia Tech, senior night. Sam Latona, Andy Smith, 13 seniors honored before tonight's festivities. And to be quite honest, Rock, if you're a Hokie, Hollywood could not have scripted this one any better for Virginia Tech. The seniors deliver the final time inside Cassell Coliseum. For that man there, Tony Roby. Virginia Tech, with that last win from Ventresca, wraps up a share of the ACC regular season title. And then there was one wait to go, 133, Kai Orini. Back-to-back losses, uncharted territory for the 3-time NCAA qualifier, 2-time All-American. His opponent, Connor McGonigal, the transfer this offseason. McGonigal comes in a record of 8-1. He has won 6 straight. And McGonigal has been unbeaten since his return to the lineup back on January 19th after missing 2 months.
This match is important. The dual meet has been settled, but this is important for seeding for the ACCs as well as for the NCAAs. Both of these guys are really good from the top position. But on the feet, they're tough to take down.
Marini back in familiar territory. Back down to 133. Started the season at 141. That was the first time he was wrestling 141 in his career. His 3 NCAA trips all coming at this weight. All-American a year ago, placing 8th. Was an All-American as well in 2023. Back-to-back strong showings at Nationals. And when you look at Arini, we saw him last week, the loss to the talented youngster from Stanford, Tyler Knox. The week before that, a tight one to Ethan Oakley. What are you noticing with Arini that maybe is missing from what we've seen from his championship runs in this conference in years past?
Let's call it what it is. Both of those matches started off at 133. And we all know that Arini has a hard cut to get down to 133. So last week, when he wrestled Tyler Knox, they started at 133. The match before with Oakley, they started off at 133. Now, it appears that NC State had the choice and they said, no. We're going to put him at the end and give him time to recover. So they think it makes a difference.
Marini made the move back down to 33 right before Christmas. It was the December 22nd duel with Cornell. We talked to Pat Papalizio last week, and we asked him why the change, and he quite frankly was really honest with us. He said, we thought he was really good, decent at 141, but we feel he can compete for a national championship at 133.
He's been in some tough matches throughout his career in the ACC. A lot of battles with Sam Latona, who's up at 141 now.
Mickey Philippi a couple of years ago to win his first ACC title in 23. He's had some tough customers to go through to earn those titles.
Action!
McGonagall's doing a good job with the underhook and putting his head on the side of the underhook. When we say underhook, that's when you put your arm underneath the armpit and you want your head on the side of the underhook.
Wrestlers shooting simultaneously as they cracked heads real briefly. Again, that head position by McGonigal. 15 seconds in this first period.
Short time, guys, short time. 5 seconds.
And like we've seen on a few occasions tonight, scoreless after the first period. Tomorrow night at 8 Eastern after our men's basketball triple-header, Nothing But Net Crew will break down the day and night in the ACC with highlights and analysis of every game, plus look ahead at the best matchups on the schedule for next week. It's all right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app.
A little debate there if Arini should go underneath McGonigal, who's really good on top.
Caution on McGonigal.
Okay, make sure we're on the elbow.
Too quick.
Yep. Here we go, guys.
Taps himself on the chest. Says, yep, that one's on
ready,
me.
set? Go ahead, Green.
Good to have McGonigal back in the fray this year. The two-time NCAA qualifiers, both of his years at Nationals coming at 141. So a little bit of an opposite story as Arini as the continuation of action goes out of bounds.
One of the things that Arini was trying to do was to stay up. And immediately you saw McGonigal was trying to put the right leg in, and then he'll swim over and put the left leg in. And when he gets those double legs in, the boots, he stretches you out, and it's very tough to get out.
He will put you in some very painful positions. Arini up to a stand up into a roll, but McGonigal just sticks to him like glue there. And Arini is aware of the dangers that he has at this top position. That's why there was some discussion with the NC State staff where to go.
He's not in a bad position because his left arm is underneath the leg of McGonigal. So now he's going to try and get some height and shake. not in a bad position here. He's almost out, and McGonigal is doing a good job. Now he's got to swim towards it. He's got to take that right hand and swim towards the head. Very patient right there.
He gets the 2 and then the 1 for McGonigal. So the reversal for Arini, the 1 for McGonigal, and a 2-1 score halfway through the second period.
Sometimes you put yourself in positions like that just to get a feel, because they may see each other again in the ACC championship. So they say go underneath and just got to get a feel, you know? Obviously you want to win, but also you want to get some data points for the next time you may wrestle.
Let's not forget, when you look at Connor McGonigal, just go back to 2023. Remember, he's a transfer from Lehigh, but he was a top 5 wrestler in the country a couple of years ago, and then he suffered that injury, which kept him out of the NCAAs. And then last year, he lost the wrestle-off and sudden victory to the young phenom Ryan Crookham. So he lost the starting job. Crookham went on to finish 3rd at Nationals a season ago in Kansas City. So McGonigal hit the transfer portal.
Go bottom, Green. Green chooses bottom.
So McGonigal goes down, and we've seen it many years now, Sean, that in these situations, Arini is really stout on top.
Red, go ahead and cover.
And he's had about 3 hours since weigh-ins. Got to do a lot of work here.
Looking for the mat return. He's going to have to return him back down, but he cannot. McGonigal able to scrape away and get the point. And we start over in this third period, tied at 2.
Let's see what happens here. A little extended shot there. Could be a go behind. McGonigal took a shot that was just too far away. Watch a cement roll, cement mixer here. Watch a cement mixer. He's going to go to the underhook. But what McGonigal's doing, he's taking a hand off the chin. That's how you stop a cement job or cement mixer. You take the hand off the chin. You take the hand off the chin, they can't do anything.
Stop, stalemate.
Kevin Linich says that's enough of that position. Let's get back up to the feet. 51 seconds remaining.
Hey, we're all tied here.
Two-time defending ACC champion entering this final regular season duel, having lost his last 2 matches. We talked about the uncharted territory for Arini. A win here tonight. What a catapult that would be for him. Get some of that swagger back and confidence heading to Durham in a couple of weeks in the ACCs.
Center.
It makes things a little challenging for the seeding. So I would think that both guys, enough. Ooh, there it is! No takedown, no takedown. They waved it off. They waved it off. But he's going to let him run. He's going to let him run.
Roby gently tosses the brick. They'll let the action continue here.
Yep, they're going to let it go, because by showing the brick, what's going to happen is that they're going to look at the whole situation, not just then and stop. They're going to look at everything.
Hey, did you have it?
This is a tough call here. I mean, this is tough.
The ruling on the mat is no takedown. So as they go and take a look for evidence of 3, Rock, break it down. What do you think here?
Wow,
Well, he signaled 3 initially.
He sure did, and I mean we're not seeing it in slow mo. It's golly, that's a hard call there. So one thing that you look for is that when someone is on their back, are they trying to wrestle or they're trying to fight off their back? And at this point, it looks like he's trying to continue to roll through, not fight off his back. There it is. Just it's what many people are going to get mad. Well, it's reaction time. Do you feel that was enough to merit a takedown? That's
so
a
what
tough
do you
one
think
right there.
Kevin Linich saw there that changed his mind from the original 3?
I think he feels he awarded it too early. That there wasn't enough. There was continued motion there. This is a tough call here. They're looking at it, and they're looking to see, did I award it too early? Was he fighting off his back? And I'm going to say I'm fine with either one. If he calls it to takedown, you stick with your guns. And then if you wave it off, you wave it off. But I think they're going to wave it off. And after the review, they are going to...
After officials review the ruling on the match, stands, no takedown.
No takedown.
Neutral.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. It was a tough call there.
2 seconds.
It's all right with us. We get free wrestling. Sudden victory, overtime with McGonigal and Orini.
McGonigal looks like he's got a pop in his step now.
Both these wrestlers coming out with a little bit more pace to start this 2-minute sudden victory. First one to score wins. Our second overtime match of this championship deciding Friday night. Friday night duels here on the ACC Network into that high C. McGonigal tried to hit it. Orini was waiting.
Orini's got to get that, push that elbow down. Push that elbow down his left side and pick a side. Now he's going underneath.
Center.
And you're seeing that McGonigal's keeping his hand down low, just to know that there could be a cement mixer.
Tried to hit that cement mixer. McGonigal then springs around to the back. He's off to the side.
Look for elevation.
And the 3 and an exclamation point for Virginia Tech.
Off the mat. Great match, guys. Good match.
Denied a 3 late in the match. Not denied in sudden victory.
Jordan, you saw the cement mixer was coming. Let's look at it. Here it is. We knew the cement mixer was coming. He fought it, and then a little extra motion. Overhook, but watch the hips. You just saw it was coming. Watch him pop his hips. Right there. Gets behind, gets a takedown, pop the hits. Emphatic ending to a great win by Virginia Tech. Slamming NC State to the mat. Really dominant performance by Virginia Tech over NC State. Well done.
The Hokies win 7 of 10 tonight inside Cassell Coliseum. And a 21-10 victory for Virginia Tech. And the Hokies now clinch a share of the ACC championship. North Carolina State also with a share of the ACC title. And this is certainly good news and extra motivation for Rob Cole in North Carolina as they get ready to start their duel on the West Coast with Stanford, because the Tar Heel win would mean we have a 3-way tie atop the regular season standings as the Hardware has made its way to Blacksburg. Eddie Ventresca, who sealed it, the proud holder of the trophy right now.
And he was the one that really sealed the deal with a fantastic win over number 3, Vincent Robinson. And now let's keep it here. We are celebrating Virginia Tech, but NC State has a claim to that title. And in a couple hours, in another 45 minutes, we're going to see if UNC can start their run to become a co-champion as well.
March is going to be fun. We hope you can join us in Durham, the ACC Championships. What a night here in Blacksburg. The Hokies over North Carolina State. 21-10, your final for Rock Harrison. This is Sean Kinney saying so long and good night.